How I saw opportunities where others saw limits. Being a third culture kid was hard. You never really know where you fit in. And entrepreneurship felt the same. But in business, it became my greatest advantage. It changed the way I see risk, and it completely redefined success for me. So, it's interesting talking about it now because growing up, right, I never really wanted people to know that we were refugees. And what's crazy is until I was about 16 years old, I had the F passport. And the F meant in German like Flüchtling, which is like refugee. And I had that until I was like 15 or 16 years old. And I was so restricted on where I was able to travel. Like I was able to travel in Europe, but like going to the US or doing this and that was very hard. And even though I was very young when we moved to Switzerland, I think I was like, I don't know, like a year old or two, I can't remember. You know, a friend said to me one time, he was like, "Well, you basically are Swiss because you moved to Switzerland when you were so young." And I said, "Not really, because you will always have a refugee mindset because society, and I'm not saying it in a bad way, you know what I mean? Like I'm so grateful for Switzerland. I love the opportunities that Switzerland gave me, but when you show up with that passport for 15, 16 years, it always tells you you're not one of us. You're always going to be a refugee kid. And why I always felt like I was a refugee kid is like when you come from a Persian country, Persian background, and you come into a country like Switzerland, it's completely different. The cultures are completely the opposite. So I could see my parents were still struggling with, and even us and the kids, like the kids, we were struggling with the mentality of like, well, we're Persians, but we're still living in Switzerland. And in Switzerland, it's completely different, right? So when you would go home, you're from Iran. When you go to school and you're outside, you're Swiss. So I think I was able to like really be a part of the Swiss culture. Like it was really easy for me. For me, it was more harder to accept the Iranian Persian mentality because I never had like growing up really Persian friends. So when I became a Swiss citizen, honestly, it's one of the most beautiful things that I achieved as a human being. Because just to be able to say that you are from Switzerland and you grew up there is like a proud thing to say, and it's a proud moment. But then, when I was about 20 or 21 years old, I knew like I needed something different. I went to LA, right? I moved to LA when I was 20, 21 years old. And like I said, being from Iran is different. Being from Switzerland is different. Now you're going to the US, to LA, is completely different. Different culture, different mentality, different people. And the beautiful part about being in LA, in Switzerland, I would say a lot of people think the same. And it's about, you go to school, you go to university, you have a good job, you make good money, you're going to have family. And Switzerland not really encourages us to be like entrepreneurs or go after your dreams. Like it's very like set on how you live your life, right? But in LA, it's the complete opposite. In LA, you go there and you're like, I can achieve and be whatever I want. Like they are encouraging you to be different, to go after your dreams. I mean, look at all the Hollywood stars, right? They came from a city somewhere in the US, came to LA and they made it. And these are these like big celebrities. So it took me some years to understand how LA people, especially Hollywood people, think. And that was the time when I started with the Cleopatra Cat Eye stamp. It's when I started to, go after having my own cosmetics brand. And why I'm saying this, why I'm saying like being a third culture kid helped me with my entrepreneurship is I was able to pivot faster. I was able to understand all these different cultures faster because God, my parents, myself, put myself in situations where I was always around different people. And if I can say this to you, and that's something that you want to go after being an entrepreneur, I encourage you to live somewhere else. Get out of your hometown, get out of your safe space, and move somewhere else. And be alone and learn the culture and learn how other people live. Because the more you do this, the more you understand you and the more you understand the world. So because of that, it was so easy for me to get into situations where maybe other people would have a more hard time than I did. Because for me, all this time growing up, even now, right? About 2 years ago, we moved everything from LA to Dubai. I moved to the Middle East, where I never in my entire life thought that I will ever live in a Middle Eastern country. We can talk about Dubai another time, but let me just tell you, I'm obsessed with the city. I love the people, I love the culture. But again, it took me at least 6 months to a year to understand how Middle Eastern think. Yes, there's a lot of other cultures as well, which I absolutely love that live in Dubai. But still, like, it's different. It's a different culture than the US or Switzerland. So I came to Dubai, I learned the culture, I fell in love. And I can see now looking back that it's helping me so much with my company. Like if something happens and we have to pivot, a lot of companies would get very nervous and scared. For me, it's more like, oh, that's easy. Okay, so let's see how we can do it and let's see how we can do it fast. And this is now looking back, I am so proud that I'm a refugee kid. I am so proud that my parents gave me the opportunity to be able to live in all these different countries, all these different cities. And with saying this, I truly, with everything that I believe in, even though it's scary, unknown, and you have no idea how it's going to turn out, but if you are able and you are a risk taker, please, if you can, go live in a different city or a different country. You will change as a human being and you will change to be a better person. And you will be able to help change your environment where you grew up. Because now you can bring back the stories to where, to your parents, to your friends, to your brother, your sister, and you will help them to feel comfortable getting out of their comfort zone. Because as entrepreneurs, being in a comfort zone is a slow killer. It literally kills your business. Because entrepreneurship is you waking up in the morning thinking you know what you got to do, and the world slaps you around and you have to figure it out. So get out of your comfort zone, go see the world, and then go after your dreams. That's all I got to say for today.